Love you for the rest of my life. 'Cause baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up to say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Oh, I should have got down.
Baby, let me love you for the rest of my life. Baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up, say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Love you for the rest of my life. 'Cause baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up to say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Baby, let me love you for the rest of my life. Baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up, say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
love you for the rest of my life. 'Cause baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up to say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Baby, I love you. Love you for the rest of my life. Baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up, say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Love you for the rest of my life. 'Cause baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up to say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you till the end of time.
Baby, I love you. Love you for the rest of my life. Baby, I adore you. Let me love you till the end of time. You call me up, say that you need my love today. Baby, let me love you.
Burn live. Marijuana leak keeping you connected. Hashtag is red eye. Now let me shut up. Burn live, y'all. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtag these red eyes. Changing the viewers I read. Keeping us keeping underage smoking off social media, killing ourselves for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, start cannibalization, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. See, that's what I'm gonna start saying this real fast in a hurry. I see already this is how I'm gonna have to do it. Burn live marijuana, keeping you connected. Hashtag is red eye, changing the viewers I read, keep it out of underrated. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the Let's get into this. Let's get into this. What's up, everybody? Y'all like that intro? That was cool. Panicking, look like I'm rushing into something. Even though I say, man, we just gonna smoke weed today, y'all. We just gonna sit back, chill, and relax. Lying to myself is like lying to you guys. It's like I want to sit back, I want to chill. Sometimes the news, I see it makes me angry. I sometimes I want to get in my feelings about things that I see, and I had to like remember I gotta talk rational and responsible to our audience to make sure people understand things, make sure people understand what's going on. If I can break down a segment and the best of my abilities, that's basically what I want to do. Like I said, this is for the marijuana people that smoke weed, so we can come unite, talk about some political things, left or right, up and left. It doesn't matter. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Got that all out the way. Today's episode is brought to you by Snow is Tripping, thinking that he hear everything outside. The man just wants peace. We're gonna start today's show off by starting good old Chicago, where y'all know crime is
We
always
begin
everywhere, is
with news
always
of a spike
everywhere.
in shootings in Chicago just
Spike
this
and
weekend.
shooting.
CBS
See,
News' Asel Razai joins us from Chicago Police Headquarters to tell us where and how the violence unfolded.
It's been a busy 72 hours for Chicago police and first responders. At least 4 people are dead, 10 others injured in shootings all across the city. Overnight on the west side near 13th Street and Kildare Avenue, an unknown suspect drove by in a silver sedan, shooting a 30-year-old female passenger in the neck and face around 4 this morning. At last check, she's in critical condition in the hospital. And around 1:30, officers responding to a crash in Little Village on West 21st Street Place. You can see the car is flipped over. Police say a 29-year-old driver had a gunshot wound to the head and later died. Less than an hour earlier, just after 12 a.m., another person is shot, this time by an employee at a business near 70th Street and Western Avenue. Chicago police say a 20-year-old man shot in the leg after a verbal altercation. They were taken to the hospital in good condition. The employee was taken into custody, and detectives are continuing to investigate what happened. Gun violence leaving at least one person dead Saturday. Just after midnight, 5 people between 40 and 50 years old shot standing near South Spalding and Douglas Boulevard in North Lawndale. One person died, at least 2 people left in critical condition. And later that night at 11:30 in the back of the yards, 3 people were shot in their legs standing on the sidewalk near Hoyne and 54th Place. They were taken to the hospital, thankfully in good condition.
I see why y'all just want to smoke weed and sit in y'all homes and take care of y'all kids and don't want to do nothing. With stories like this and violence like this, especially if you live in the Chicago area, I do have a few Chicago people that do watch my show. Shout outs to them and the bravery that y'all live through, but living in that hell shithole up there that you call Chicago. And the thing is about my black ass community is that you got people that are proud. Oh man, you can't say nothing about Chicago. Yes, I can. I do stories on Chicago at least once a week. I know I touch a Chicago story with the violence and the corruption, and the mayor's gonna he's gonna be up there the next morning. He's gonna say we need to stop this. We need to. the president to do something about the gun laws. We need the Republicans to step up and make stricter gun laws. Bullshit. We did the story yesterday. That guy, he had all them fucking clips. And he was in what, New Hampshire? Nothing we can do is gonna stop violence that looks like this, y'all. There's nothing.
He's gone. He's never coming back.
A weekend that got off to a tragic start after 16-year-old Rayshawn Hood is shot and killed in Auburn Gresham just after 10 o'clock Friday. A little over an hour later, a 40-year-old man is shot while on the sidewalk in the Loop. He ran into the lobby of the Virgin Hotels on Wabash with a gunshot wound to his stomach. He later died at the hospital. Out of all of those cases, just one person has been arrested. Detectives are investigating multiple homicides at this hour. Reporting from Chicago Police Headquarters, I'm Asal Razai, CBS 2 News.
Well, here we are in the city.
Y'all, it is crazy what's be going on out here in the world and stuff like that, and what we coming across and things that we should be talking about. Not everybody wants somebody locked up for some type of justice. And I don't know. I'm not the one to say I want Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton or the Clintons locked up for stuff like that. But there are cases, there are allegations, there are things that out here that makes it highly interested in you thinking that maybe some of these stories can't be too far off, far as maybe they need to be locked up. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say that, I don't know. But it's like I said, everybody wants Trump locked up, everybody wants Biden locked up. All these cases and allegations, and I told y'all yesterday, Joe Biden won't be getting nothing like that until after he's out of office, and then you will see all of those allegations and come to the forefront. He'd be like, we could have been had him. No, they want to wait till you get out of jail. Get out of office. And when he get out of office, that's when they're gonna come and get him, and then they're gonna make a movie, Bruce Willis, Die Hard movie. I promise you, it's gonna happen, and y'all gonna be coming back to this episode or one of these episodes, whatever one you find, and be like, I can't believe he was right.
Biden is being accused of leveraging the FBI to go after his political opponent. From your understanding and your knowledge of the FBI, is that even possible? And could Trump have leveraged the FBI when he was in office if it was possible?
We don't know. Expectations with now do though.
Inside in the FBI was actually in the academy or going to school when Donald Trump was elected. And so, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Kyle Seraphin.
How's it going, Brandon? Good to be on there.
Great to talk to you, man. So I'm ready to get to the nitty gritty. One thing that I think a lot of people probably understand that the FBI is corrupt. I'm not saying the entire FBI, right? There's people in the FBI that are good people that have no idea what's going on at the top. But I think the top and the upper echelon during Trump's administration was absolutely corrupt. Before Trump was corrupt. And we see now some of the whistleblowers coming out and some of these things unfolding. But Biden is being accused of leveraging the FBI to go after his political opponent. From your understanding and your knowledge of the FBI, is that even possible? And could Trump have leveraged the FBI when he was in office if it was possible?
This is the big circus act that we all look at, that we all don't trust the government. The reason why black people at 18%, 13% to be more precise, don't vote. Because of questions like this and how it's going to be answered. And I don't know how it's being answered. But when you play around with these allegations, I'm not trying to say that nobody's playing around. I'm just using these words, terms to paint the picture of the reason why voting is at an all-time low. When you have two people that's playing with people's livelihood and using law-abiding programs for corruptive reasons. I had to say that slow to make sure I said it right.
So the first answer is yes. The second answer is no. And the reason why is the FBI has a really bizarre culture that it's antithetical to what most people would experience in law enforcement. I mean, people in law enforcement are generally conservative, and I would say FBI agents are generally conservative. They mostly care about things like faith and family, and they care about things, it's a very Catholic workforce. It's why it's so strange that they decided to go after Catholics. It's not the group of people that you would expect that would go and investigate a Republican president. And I had somebody argue with me online the other day, something like all the FBI directors have all been Republicans, and maybe they were, at least by what they registered as. But my tweet got over 1 million views because you see a picture of Jim Comey and he's dressed like a Biden campaign action figure. He's wearing like all the Biden stuff. He's got the Biden mug, right? So he looks ridiculous. That is not a guy that says that I'm a Republican. And as an independent and someone who's generally just a conservative dude, I look into it, and there's no way that Trump could have used the FBI the way that the Biden administration is, because the management structure of the FBI is totally captured. It's what we call ideological capture. And it's an administrative process. It started happening sometime under Director Mueller, probably right after 9/11. So that goes back over 20 years now. It became an intelligence agency. And intelligence agencies, one, they don't like transparency. They don't like giving up their secrets. And then two, and probably the most importantly, they tend to have a lot of cerebral academic types on them, and they think government is the answer. So you end up with a lot of people that lean left. I would answer it like this. Like, Trump is the CEO when he was the president of the country. He was the CEO. Imagine being the CEO of a big company. Imagine Walmart. I live down here outside of Austin, Texas. If you think that the CEO of Walmart knows what's going on in the Walmart down the street from me, I would say they probably don't. They don't know what they're doing at the door greeter spot, and they don't know what's happening with the night cashiers. They certainly don't know what the branch manager is doing on a daily basis in the break room. So that's why Trump couldn't do anything on it. And the fact that the management of the Bureau was already inclined to do sort of the Democratic dirty work, that's why we had what we had under Trump, and why it's working well under Biden.
So I have a question for you, Kyle. So now we have evidence that Joe Biden is now he was being investigated before for bribery, up to $5 million of a bribe from I'm not sure where it's Burisma or some other foreign relations that was being investigated. Do you think that something is going to come of this? Because we see people talking about it. We know the investigation existed. It seems that now people know about it. Maybe they have to continue the investigation. Do you think that the FBI is
No, swept under the rug till we come out of office. Then we make a movie, a die-hard movie, starring Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, me, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock. I mean, not Chris Rock, but The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It's gonna be an action thriller. It's like Grumpy Old Man goes to the White House, and you turn it into an action movie. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
going to continue to its end to investigate Biden and put him in jail for the bribery that he probably was involved in?
I think the FBI got gun shy after they sort of let Hillary Clinton off the hook, and they're trying to stay out of politics. At least they think they are. And by doing so, they are actually getting involved in politics. So it's a really strange moment in history where you see, the deputy director, that's Paul Abate. He was just in front of Ted Cruz the other day, and you probably played some clips over there. Or people have been playing them all the last couple of days. Josh Hawley was out there kind of yelling at him. And that's the number 2 guy in the Bureau. And he dressed up like an old school Bureau guy with a black suit and a black tie, and just stonewalled these suckers. He just does not want to tell anybody anything. And if the FBI wasn't playing politics, it would be fine. But they are playing politics, and I don't have any expectation on there. The other thing is this: most of the frontline agents that I dealt with were either hyper political and they were paying attention to everything, and they were outraged the same way that maybe you and I are. And then probably the vast majority of them just kind of put their head in the sand. So I had a conversation in April of 2022 with one of my colleagues who was a West Point graduate and a good guy, worked national security. He'd never heard of the Hunter Biden laptop story. He didn't know that it was out there. He'd never seen any of the pictures. He didn't even know what we were talking about when me and my boss were sitting and kind of like riffing about it, because somebody had remixed a bunch of these pictures to a Biggie Small song, and it was kind of funny to watch. Like, there it is. He'd never heard of it. He's like, "What are you guys talking about?" Totally head in the sand. And I think that's probably more common than not, that they try to stay out of politics to the point where they actually don't know anything about that's going on in this country.
Wow, I see the value in that, right? I see the value in being impartial, because as a former police
Sure.
officer and obviously worked in FBI, we are supposed to do our investigations impartially. Even if we are heavily involved in politics. When you are doing your job, you're supposed to step back from the job, step back from your personal life, and say, I'm going to do this investigation as if I'm investigating on behalf of, well, not only that you're sworn to protect.
Basically, what I just said, y'all. Basically, what I just said is happening when it comes to the politicians. And the more and more that I get to learn, um, not gonna lie to you, the more and more frustrated I kind of get, because it's learning, it's seeing, and then it's putting the clues together and be like, okay, this arrow points to this arrow points to this arrow. Um, the stuff that I watch, I mean, to me, it looks like the movie Lion King, The Big Circle of Life. You know what I'm saying? Is that not Jafar, Scar, who is the Matrix. We trying our best not to get them to take over us and do things outside of our beliefs and what we believe in to make this country great. Quit trying to take our guns. Quit trying to tell black people they depressed. Like that stuff like that. People that feed that depression stuff, y'all racist. Y'all the racist people that got us going through this struggle. The reason why I can't smoke my weed and chill on the internet and do politics stuff, because everybody's so scared, especially in this politic world, in the marijuana hemisphere. They so scared to talk and speak their minds, and they shy away. And I'm trying to find a format to go on to other people's podcasts, smaller marijuana podcasts, and speak about these topics and things that I feel are dear and near, and like that we need to discuss, because if we keep shying away, Lord have mercy, ladies and gentlemen.
So at 13 years old, I had a
I'm sorry. If we keep shying away from some of these discussions, we're gonna miss out on a lot. I'm trying to look for this one discussion. So this right here
You
has a
were
lot of
very
views.
eloquent
Lot of
on the way you
views.
defended Hillary Clinton, on who she was when it comes down to politics. Are you still close to that family?
I'm not.
Okay. So who do you think between the two was a better politician? You think Bill's the better politician? Do you think Hillary's the better
I don't
politician?
think Hillary was a particularly good politician.
Okay, so she's a better strategist, you would say. She's more
I think
strategic, power.
She is a classic blooming where she's potted kind of public official.
Yeah.
Everything that she has been given to do. I watched her, as a rookie elected official come into New York and become an amazing senator. I watched her at Secretary of State be like, she blooms where she's potted. She knows government well. She's smart, as a very, very smart person.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that it's hard. I think it was hard for her to get her sea legs, being the first woman candidate of a major party. I think it was hard for her to get her sea legs in the framing of Bill Clinton's wife. I think it was a lot of things, a lot of challenge she faced that you and I would not face on the campaign.
Do you think she's a good person?
I do.
Okay. So, when we, announced the fact that we're interviewing you, we kind of crowdsource with the audience. What questions do you want to ask? And then our research team will go and say, hey, is there any credibility to this or not? And then we don't waste our time. So, hey, we're having Anthony Weiner on. Great. So you have to ask him about Frazzle Drip. Go look it up. Oh, this video is a deep fake. Not any credibility to it on what happened with Hillary Clinton, Huma, and all this stuff. Nope, we're not going to ask him about that because I don't yet see a real source. A lot of it was stuff that, conspiracy, all this stuff that's being said. We're not going there. Yeah, you need to ask him about Pizzagate because that's exactly what's going on with kids. Yeah, no, we're not going there. That's not something we're going to be asking him about. Yeah, you need to ask him about this and you need to ask him about this. I said, okay. All of these things that they said we have to ask you about. To be fair, it's Bill Clinton officiated your wedding with Huma, your wife, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. So you've been very close. And your wife, is it still wife or is it ex-wife? I think it's separated since 2017, right?
We're separated. We co-parent Jordan, but we're separated.
Okay. And, she was a right-hand person to Hillary Clinton in 2016 while the scandal was taking place.
For years before that, she was with Hillary she's 20 years.
And the whole thing with the life insurance, the email, 650,000, the one folder with the word life insurance and the files that are in there. So the next thing that people said, you got to ask him is the following. So, Rob, if you can pull up this story, I'm not going to buy into this one. Well, 9 out of 12 cops, NYPD, who saw the email and saw what was in that laptop, committed suicide. And it was, 7 of them since June, and it was the most ever that this took place. And these are the men that committed suicide. So then we went and looked it up, and we're like, no, they did commit suicide, but it wasn't linked directly to seeing the laptop or the intel there. No problem. So again, no credibility there. So there's no reason to ask you the question about the 9 out of 12 cops that saw it.
You shouldn't even be listing them and giving oxygen.
No, my job is to listen because I like to read.
List them. You shouldn't be listing these things.
Well,
these things
it is what it is.
Destructive. People have actually
these are conspiracy theories. These are conspiracy theories that
all
some
that have
people,
books about them, though.
Right. But the one thing that we did look up that wasn't a conspiracy theory was the following. And this is the one that's kind of weird. And first thing I asked.
To get deep into something when you're going to interview somebody, and make sure you ask them the toughest questions and the right questions and not play around. You see how he asked him just, before I get deep up into the Hillary Clinton conspiracy theory, let me make sure everybody get a good understanding of how cool and how understanding how well you know the Clintons, how well y'all call each other family, friends, or whatever. And then he's going to hit them with some more details. And like you said, I'm not going to hit you. And he went through a list of things that was not true. Now we're trying to get into the sauce.
Ask myself is, how the hell is our guy here, Anthony Weiner, still alive? What do you mean by that? Well, when you go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons, and the Deadpool. This is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, okay, Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner, died of an apparent heart attack. Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown.
Ron Brown, he died in a plane crash.
Vince Foster Vince Foster was the next one. By the way, the James Dougal was a key witness in a key Ken Starr
investigation.
Ron Brown
was in a plane crash. Why is he on the list?
Ron Brown is another one, but there was a close person to this. Victor Razor. You got Paul Tooley, Ed Woolley.
Wait a minute. You're reading a list of people that Bill and Hillary Clinton knew. They're 80. They're 70-something years old.
I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you this question and an answer at the end. So you got Jerry Parks, Jane Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Candy Bow, Florence Martin, Susan Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casolero, Paula Wilker, John Parnell Walker, Barbara Weiss. We should verify this yourself because you're running a radio show. You should look it up. Charles Meisner, Dr. Stanley Hurd, Barry Beal, Barry Seal, Johnny Lawhorn.
Can you read me the URL you're reading? Can you read me the URL you're reading?
We'll send you the most credible source you can look it up.
Let your listeners know what you're reading.
We'll put the link below. We'll put the link below.
Just tell me so I know what I'm responding to.
Friday, Kevin Ivey, Dan Henry, Keith Coney. And these were part of the Ivy Henry case. Keith McCaskill.
What's the Ivy Henry case?
You can look it up. Ivy Henry case. So Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Millen, Richard Winter, and then you got the close bodyguards, Major William Barkley, Captain Scott Reynolds, Brian Hanley, Tim Sable, General William Robertson. You don't even know what you're reading a list of.
How is this?
Densberger, Robert Kelly, Colonel Gary Rhodes, Steve Wills, Robert Williams, Conway LeBlue, Todd McKeon. I'm done. It's 46 names. And
Of what?
When
Can
I-
you read
when
me?
I-
46 people who got so-called assassinated under the Clintons' illegal investigations or allegations. Jesus Christ. I'm glad I don't
A
know
list.
that.
Can you read me the URL so I know what you read a list of
when
before I
I
answer any questions
when I
about it?
finish this, stillinthestorm.com. You can look it up.
Stillinthestorm.com.
You can
This
look
is
it
your
up.
big moment, guys.
Yeah, so you can go. And by the way,
ads about chemtrails at the end of it.
He hasn't even asked the question.
by the
He's
way-
just reading the article.
He's reading a list of names.
So-
He hasn't even asked the
asking me-
question. It's a list.
the fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not
okay?
nervous. This stuff
Let
makes
me
me
wrap
sick
it.
when you repeat
Exactly. It
these
makes us sick as
ridiculous-
well. It also
It
makes us
obviously
sick.
doesn't. It
Of course,
obviously
because
doesn't.
the establishment
You
makes us
start
sick.
the question by reading a list of
Your reaction is an answer.
conspiracy. I know these things make me sick, and people
Your
have gotten killed
reaction is
over
an
it.
answer.
Someone went into a pizza parlor in
Yes.
Washington because they believed this shit, and
Your-
you're making an echo
Your
chamber. out of it.
reaction is an answer. So let me go to it here now.
No.
So-
No.
Your
You're not
reaction
going
is
to read
an
a list.
answer.
Yeah, my reaction is my reaction.
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
tell me what that list, in your view,
You
what would-
haven't allowed me to finish. If you allow me to finish the
because you're reading
question,
46
then you
random
can
names
do
off the internet,
whatever
of
you want.
some fucking insane website.
I love your answer.
and
because
these people who you don't even know who they are, you're reading them on a list of something, making some kind of as if it's somehow suspicious. You don't even know who these human beings are, who have families, who are like out there. And now
I'll spend the
you're
next
reading
2 hours with you, one by one, explaining
Fine.
who these individuals are if you want to do
Fine.
that.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was.
Tom.
No, not you. You were asking me the question. Pick one name
I
and
will.
then tell me.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
No, Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times. Pull
Yeah.
up one of the obscure names you pulled.
Yeah,
Why did you pull Ron Brown? Here, let me read Ron Brown. Ron Brown, a Commerce Secretary who a plane crashed while he was on a humanitarian mission, crashed on the side of a mountain. So what do you want to know about Ron Brown? What do you want to know about Ron Brown?
Can you let me ask the question?
No, listen, this
Wait,
is a
can you-
conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm the host. You invite me to your podcast. You get to ask the question. I'm the
This
host.
is what
I'm going to ask you the question. You haven't let me answer the question.
I didn't see.
You gotta understand, to even be a part of 10 names that have been illuminated to assassinations, to a laptop, to a stream, is crazy. Didn't let him ask the question, trying to get a base feeling of just want to understand some things. If you don't have nothing to do with these allegations or none of these people getting killed, 46 names he read, y'all. I just want y'all to understand this is where this is coming from. And then you get back to the Bidens, who so-called used the FBI to investigate Trump. You gotta look. Y'all gotta look at both sides.
Your reaction is already an
I
answer.
know. I am infuriated by people
I
who drag
understand
other
why
people's
you would
names
be.
who are powerless. You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is
I'm not-
powerless?
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is
These
powerless.
people.
That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a
The
list
pow-
of people
the
because you have the
establishment
power to
people.
do it.
I don't-
People who do that are
I have
bullies,
the
and
power
I
to
don't
do-
appreciate bullies.
I have the power to do what?
You do. To read a
do
list
what?
of some
I have the power
stranger's
to
names.
use the DOJ and other things to control and
That's
hide
not
things?
DOJ.
Yeah.
DOJ
Let me-
didn't make this
let
list.
me finish up
Some
my question.
jackass made a list in his
You have
basement.
the right to
You're reading their
answer.
names as if they're incriminating
You
in
have
some
the
way.
right to
That's
answer.
bullying, and
You
I don't
have-
appreciate. And
you have
I
the-
stand up against bullies.
Please do so.
He hasn't even asked the question yet,
He's reading a
Anthony.
list and he's refused. And now he says, "Let's move on."
No.
Because I set your answer
Nobody
already.
has said
He
move on.
hasn't
You're
even asked the
panicking.
question. I don't even know what the question is.
Yeah.
Pick a name.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Reading
And you get
a
to
list
answer
of people who
or
probably
not answer.
And there are some of those people that had military titles in front of them, and you're
Exactly.
dragging their
That's
name.
even
through-
the point.
You're dragging their name
That's
through
even the
and
point.
You should be ashamed
Because
of
their
yourself.
families would want to know.
Because you've got a podcast.
Some of their
you can
families
read
would want to know.
some conspiracy theory podcast. Some conspiracy theory that 9
I
people read.
got you.
You find some guy that comes in, and then
Congratulations,
you
buddy.
go from Ron Brown to some obscure officer
Yes.
that used to protect Bill Clinton, who passed away. May he rest in peace for his
May
service.
all of them rest in
And
peace.
you are dragging them into some
May
wacky
all of them
conspiracy
rest
theory.
in peace. May all of them rest in peace. So here's the question for you. Because millions of people are not convinced Hillary Clinton is a
Again
good
with the
person.
other people, millions
including
of people.
myself. If you want to do that, I'm not
put the
I'm
questions
not
in your
worried
own.
about
Don't try to make
question.
it about some bozo who put up a website. Put in your own words.
Here's a question for you, Guy. It's a very simple question for you. So how is it when you think about other candidates, okay, everybody has a stereotype. You have a reputation whether you like it or not. What's your reputation? Your reputation is you like to text underage girls and you like to talk to girls and you sex sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it.
Did he just put him out there like that, y'all? Did he just put it out there like that? No, straight up. Okay. He did do that. True indeed. That's why he got kicked out. But wow. Okay.
Adam has a reputation. Adam is a playboy in Miami.
Better get back to that list of strangers you read a
trust
list
me,
of.
I'm getting back to it. Tom's got a reputation. His reputation is a man who
And right now,
loves
your
his wife,
reputation is listing strangers
and
who served in the military and dragging their names
I
through the
have a
dirt.
reputation to ask tough questions and piss some people like you off. That's my
including
reputation.
including dead people who I'm going to stand up for.
Oh, trust me, we are standing up for them more than you are standing up for them.
Let's see. You better get back to that list because we're going to clear some people's names today.
My question for you is, how is it that in the last 50 years, we don't have a single candidate? Everybody has their own. Hey, John F. K. was a playboy with Marilyn Monroe. Trump, Karen McDougal, Stormy Daniels. You know, George Bush linked to 9/11 and weapons of mass destruction. Bill Clinton linked to Arkansas women, all this others. Everybody has a reputation. How is it that the reputation that follows them as people close to them die? Why is that a story that many people believe in? Why is that?
Are the Clintons in their 70s yet? You don't think I can make a list of other people who are 70-something years old and say this person died, that person died, this person died? Hold on.
How come they haven't done that with Bush? He's in the same age.
I have no freaking idea why they haven't.
How come they haven't done that with Trump?
So are you saying, so you agree with what I'm saying?
How come they haven't done that with Reagan?
So
how come they haven't done that with Kerry?
What point are you making about these men and women who you listed?
How is it so many people close to them die? How is it so many people close to them?
Everybody dies.
How is
are you
it so
suggesting?
Many
Okay.
I'm asking the question.
You're asking a bizarre question.
Exactly.
Did people die? Did people die? No. What pisses me off, and I'm going to say this again because you apparently are not listening to me. You read a list of people off an obscure website that of conspiracy theory, taking a Venn diagram of everyone that ever worked in the orbit of someone who served in public life for 50 years. And you listed them, including people in the military, including strangers you could not pull out of it. And you are implying that there's something nefarious. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought.
Please do so, because I got another.
Let me finish my thought
here for you.
You're implying both with the question and with the website. The website says it explicitly. You're implying it. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You're implying that something. You are implying
until he's done. Go for it.
You are implying that something nefarious is afoot both with the question and with the list. Hillary Clinton, she's a big girl. I'm a big boy. You're a big boy. The people that you just listed,
they're all.
Listen to me. No, these are obscure people that you could not pull out.
Great politician, buddy.
Wait a hold on.
Fantastic.
You know what? You are the classic bully. You list someone's name. Are you going to go back and clarify? Are you going to go clarify?
Y'all want to see somebody that's beating around the bush of a question or even scared to even answer a question because knowing that the people is on them lists maybe all tied together, truth to the facts that they went down and did some terrible things for the Clintons and had to pay for it because the FBI or the CIA, who knows? You just asking questions. You can always, I like when people get asked questions and, you ask me questions and I answer them and, what I'm saying, people get scared because they don't hear what they like to hear. And then they like to raise their voice to get loud. And then, like you said, he just tripping out 46 names like they just randomly, they're not all linked together. And this is not a type of podcast that plays games and plays around like that. So, that when you come up on her, you should just be ready to answer some tough ass questions. Be answering them questions as real as possible and straight to the point. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? Out of all them people, why aren't you dead? Like you said, you grew up under them. They took you up under your wing. You was a little bitty egg when you hatched. You was a Clinton baby. He was a Clinton baby.
You know what the
Are you going to
qualities of your
clarify this list?
personality is. You
I
want
don't
to
want
really
you
know
can
that.
ad hominem attack on me.
Yeah.
Is going to somehow
Classic
clear that
bully.
person's name.
There isn't anybody at this table that's a bigger bully than
I
you.
tell you. Oh yeah, you just
Yeah.
listed some stranger with
Very
PFC
good
with
deceptive
PFC.
way of pinning. Good
Look
for
at
you
you.
guys.
You're reading some.
Good
you're,
for
You're
you.
reading a conspiracy website.
Good
It's like,
for you.
Some people say.
Yeah.
Some people
Pull
say.
up the Wikipedia
Look at that fucking
Rob I just
website.
sent to you. Pull up the Wikipedia. Is
you
Wikipedia
wanna-
a conspiracy website?
You want to take?
No.
You want to take a run at me?
Wikipedia-
Bring it all day,
Okay,
pal.
no, hey,
Bring it all day.
Sweetheart.
Take a run at me.
Clinton
Do not-
body count.
Conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
right at the top. Wait, can I
What-
a mic I can drop? Conspiracy,
What's
right at the top.
What's the point with that?
The point is,
What's the
conspiracy
point with
theories are
that?
by their very definition
Yeah. How come other
unsubstantiated.
people don't have this conspiracy theory? How come Reagan doesn't have this conspiracy theory?
Oh, wait a minute.
How
Hold
come
it.
Bush doesn't have this conspiracy
Newsflash on
theory?
the PDB
How come
podcast.
John Kerry
People
doesn't
say
have this
shit about the
conspiracy theory?
Clintons. Oh, wow. Really?
Why do they, though? Some of the stereotypes are true. Like, you have some reputation. It's true, some of it. Some of the stuff they say about other people
That's
is
not
true.
a stereotype. That's a made-up story about strangers.
How come others don't have that made-up story?
People have it all the time. Look at the internet.
Give me another body count with another president or candidate. Give me
Do
another
you
person.
really think that someone
Pull up,
within the
do me a favor.
Do
and
you
pull up
really
another
think?
Barack Obama body count?
Do you really think? Oh, you want to go? Why don't you go to Barack Obama, not born in this country? By the way, where was that podcast? Did you guys do that one?
No, that's never anything we
Why?
discussed.
Oh, why? Oh, come on. Some people say it.
Anthony,
There's a
you're
there's a Wikipedia thing on it. Huh. These people are strangers that you just read a list of, and I think out of deference to them,
You're a dark human
out
being,
of- out of-
guy. You're
settle
pretty
down,
dark.
pal. Settle down.
No. You're
You
pretty
should cut
dark to
that
take
list
the
out.
angle you did. You're
You should
exactly.
listen to me. You're talking topless
yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
You should cut that list out of those
Sure,
people. We can still have
absolutely.
the argument. You and I
No,
are big boys.
absolutely.
Cut that list
I'm
out.
not going to be cutting that list because the world
That's
needs.
right.
Here's what everybody
Yeah,
needs
the
to.
world needs that poor person's family that you can't even name.
Exactly. That some people say, what does it matter now? They're
Some
dead.
people say.
What does it matter now?
Some
They're
people
dead. Can
say.
you play that clip again?
Famous podcast
Play
host
that
says
clip
some
again.
people say.
Play that clip again. What does it matter now? What does it matter
These
now?
people.
What does it matter
Change
now?
the subject all you want. Anyone who read that list
no one's
is
changing the
still
subject.
waiting for you to come back
Do
to
you
that list and
realize?
apologize
Do you
to those
realize
people.
why some people?
Apologize to
Do
those
you
people.
realize why some people?
You should
are-
apologize to those people.
Why do you keep saying that? What does he
Because
need to
those
apologize
people,
about?
listing those people on some obscure website as if something about their death was shrouded in some kind of a mystery dishonors
this
their
is-
memory. Now,
this is
if
fantastic.
you are Hillary Clinton or
Fantastic.
if you are Hillary Clinton or Anthony Weiner, that
Yeah.
may sound fine. If you are some
Make it
person,
bigger, please.
if you are some person who has one of these jackasses on the internet showing up
Yeah.
at their doorstep
Yeah.
saying, "Tell me about the
Make
death
it
of your father.
bigger.
How did Hillary Clinton?" We had someone walk into a pizzeria in Washington with a gun because of assholes like
I've
this.
heard that phrase before by other people. Play it again. Play it again. I've heard this phrase
Oh,
a
by the
couple
way, what's
times.
the whole Benghazi? Let's do the whole Benghazi.
No, it's the phrase.
The fact is, we had
No,
4
let's watch the
dead
Benghazi.
Americans. Was
It's
it
a
because
phrase.
of a protest, or was it because of
You got a
guys
good
out for a
script.
walk
You
one night and
disagree with
decided to
this?
go kill some
You
Americans?
disagree with her
Listen
point
to the
here?
script.
Difference at
Play
this
that again.
point
Play that
doesn't
three
You
times.
make-
disagree with this
Play
point?
that from the 10-second mark. Not
Yeah.
from that mark.
Play it from the 1 second mark so we really get
right
context.
there, right there. Go play it right
Play
there.
it from the 1/10
Go
of a
ahead.
some
second mark.
Americans. What difference at this point does it
Yeah,
make?
that's what you
Yeah,
sound
but
like.
let's hear it.
What a script.
Let's
You're
hear.
duplicating it very
Let's
well.
hear.
You're
Let's hear.
duplicating
By
that
the way,
script
do you
very well.
disagree with her point?
Of course I do.
You do?
Of course
that
I
it
do.
matters whether it was a protest that came
course
from Libya to that family.
Do you know
to that family? And by the way, do you know why she cleaned the Republicans' clock in that hearing? Because she talked about how many
cleaned
times.
the clock? She
Yeah.
ain't a president, guy. That's cleaning the clock. The American people cleaned her clock.
No, in the Benghazi hearing.
Yeah.
Focus.
Why do you think she's not a president?
Focus.
Why do you
The
think she's not a
Benghazi
president?
hearing.
The
Focus.
American people
You bring
cleaned
up
her
a
clock.
clip and then you want to change it to 2000.
No,
Let's talk about
yo,
that clip
what
for a
she did to
second.
the Republicans. So going back to it, here's what you're doing right now, which is fantastic. You just
I don't think-
influenced
you don't believe that, do
a
you?
lot of people to go do their own due diligence. You just influence a lot
Oh,
of
you
people
can
to go do their own
find
due
you can
diligence.
find
Go
utter
do it.
dirt. No, you did
Find
that,
out
pal.
for yourself. No,
I saw what you did by listing the conspiracy theories you're not going to ask about.
I'm not
I
going
saw
to
what
ask
you
about
did.
those things.
I'm sorry, that was dishonorable.
Yeah, that's which part's dishonorable.
The list of conspiracy theory you know is bullshit, but still putting
Yeah,
it out
but
there.
This thing, there's a lot of
I think
credibility sources
people
behind
want
this. A
bullshit. It's
person-
not true. Look at what
Yeah.
you had to cite. Cite any media that you would ever read in your day-to-day life for that. Cite
Yeah.
anything. Go call one of those
You
people.
still
Have
can't
one of-
answer questions,
Have
can
one
you?
of your produce. No, you make a point now. I'm responding to it. Have one of your producers call up one of those families and tell them if they want to be listed in one of these conspiracy podcasts.
You're so sweet for saying that. You're so sweet for playing this deceptive game. I got to tell you from watching you for
Have
the
you
last.
do that?
I got to tell you.
I know
from
this is not what you're
the-
used to,
the-
man. I'm sorry. It's funny. I texted with someone is, should I give them what they're used to, or should I whatever. And they said, just whatever.
How far down the rabbit hole shall we go? How deep shall we go? People be wanting to know. People be wanting to ask these questions. People like, damn, am I going too deep? People that has ties, people that has dies, people have, as y'all see, lost their lives. I just want to put it up here so we can have a better future to choose from. I want the laws to get better. That's what I would like. I would truly like. If that can ever happen, then I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
With us, we want to give you a live look here from Suffolk County, New York. You can see our cameras overhead here as an excavator there is digging at the home of Rex Heuermann, the suspect in the Gilgo Beach killings. And we've seen investigators pay a lot of attention to his home, of course, taking things out of the home as part of this investigation. So as our camera zooms in here, we can get a better look at kind of what the scene is at this very moment. A live look here from Heuermann's house as they continue to investigate here. And this week, there's been a lot of new information that's come to light with this. We've learned about the investigation expanding across to other states where Heuermann has been before, cold cases there that haven't been cracked yet, to see if there could be any sort of connection between Heuermann and those cases that are still unsolved today. And the Gilgo Beach killings, of course, dating back a decade. So many families have been waiting for answers here, and police detectives continue this very active investigation, as you can see here, staying there on this Sunday, digging through, going through the home, combing through that evidence as part of this. Let's bring you up to speed with everything you need to know about where the investigation stands with this report from Fox's Nate Foy.
The man known as the BTK serial killer, Dennis Rader, claims he told a reporter years ago that his clone is the Long Island serial killer. Rader called himself BTK because he bound, tortured, and killed 10 people. In a letter from prison, Rader writes to Fox News Digital about similarities he sees between himself and Rex Heuermann. Rader writes, quote, "I was arrested age 59, married, 2 kids, husband, dad, longtime a serial killer, stalker, used electronic devices, lives in a neighborhood undetected, DNA and electronics, his downfall, much like me." Both men's wives almost immediately filed for divorce after their arrest. Heuermann's wife of 27 years did that on Wednesday. The 59-year-old is on suicide watch in an isolated jail cell in Suffolk County. Meanwhile, Heuermann's family home is being torn apart by investigators for a 9th straight day. The sheriff says they haven't identified any so-called trophies, but more forensic testing of evidence is needed.
I anticipate that we should be wrapped up sometime next week.
That's crazy, bro. New York, New York, New York. City of dreams, where killer be lurking around the corner, it seems. I'm sorry, my bad. Bad joke, bad timing. Probably so. Probably so, yeah. Let's see what's going on.
This is an attempt to censor a censorship hearing. The charges in this, and by the way, censorship is antithetical to our party. It was appalling to my father, to my uncle, to FDR, to Harry Truman, to Thomas Jefferson, as the chairman referred to. It is the basis for democracy. It sets us apart from all of the previous forms of government. We need to be able to talk, and the First Amendment was not written for easy speech.
This video is brought to you by Pure Talk.
Hearing was convened to address. This is an attempt to censor a censorship hearing. The charges in this, and by the way, censorship is antithetical to our party. It was appalling to my father.
this is basically talking about the things that I went through since 2020 when I started speaking out on my podcast about things that I was seeing, that I was witnessing, that I believed in, and being a Trump supporter and getting the ridicule and losing the viewers, and then not being able to post and talking about COVID, not being able to post, all them censors and us getting blocked, you know what I'm saying? Actually taking that shit to democracies because this is always freedom of speech. And time again, videos after videos, that we have been proven right, and the FBI has been proven wrong, and doctors have been proven wrong, and people are taking these COVID shots and passing out. Just so much controversy back and forth with censorship and censoring us and putting us through hell. Um, I really thought I was doing good until reality really hit me and knocked me down and really took me for a loop. You know what I'm saying? And understand it didn't do just me, it did a lot of people like that. A lot of people. And I wish better outcomes for all of us. And you know what I'm saying? Some of us still ain't came from butter. We still trying to get through our ways and get paid. Understandable. You know what I'm saying? But don't lose out on the idea of us having freedom of speech, able to disagree and to agree with somebody without the consequences of going to jail. Flat out. We still need that. We need that. And if you don't think we need that, then honestly I'm gonna have to say you're tripping. Okay. You're really, really tripping. You know what I'm saying? We can't lose out on freedom of speech, y'all. I'm not here to hold y'all too much longer. I love y'all so much. Good night. Peace.